welcome to the Old Geezer's Diary. I'm Chris, and it is amazingly Tuesday, the 23rd of April 2019. You can't believe, can you, that the time just flashes past so fast. But there you go, one of those things. So one of the things that I wanted to try and do this little run of the Old Geezer's Diary is have a look at a few things that interest me and try and pick a few different topics. And the topic I'd like to pick today is, well, climate change. I was going to say global warming, but nobody says global warming anymore, do they? Have you noticed that? It's obviously not politically correct to say global warming, so you have to say, hey, it's climate change, without trying to say where it comes from. Last week, I don't know whether you watched it, but I watched that David Attenborough thing about climate change, which was actually quite scary if you took some notice of it. I then watched another programme about climate change, and if you want, in fact, I'll put some links on at the back end of this clip, and you can have a look at those if you didn't see them. I think all three programmes I'm going to talk about are still available on catch up, and I think one or two of them might be online. Anyway, so I watched the David Attenborough thing about climate change, and that was quite tough for David Attenborough, really. I thought that was quite interesting. Then there was another thing about climate change the next day, which we watched, and that was interesting. That was The World from Space. And I thought that was really quite dramatic insofar as it showed very graphically a lot of areas where the world has kind of dried out, heated up, whatever, and that looked potentially scary. And then there was finally another thing on after the David Attenborough thing called The Age of Stupid with the late and very great Pete Postlethwaite. And that was set in 2065 when the world as we know it has come to an end. And I think that's all very interesting. Do you know, one of the things that gets to me in the world today is that we don't really talk about a lot of stuff, do we? And we don't talk about it sensibly. The politicians, me as well, we all get involved with stuff like Brexit and stuff, and we're not paying enough attention to where the world might go. What do you think? Do you have, let me just press a button. Yeah, do you think that the world's going to end in real terms soon and become a lot more, or a lot less, if you like, civilised than it is now? I have a creeping sensation that it might, but I know more than you do, really. The truth is, none of us know, do we? The world, as it stands, could easily change very seriously. And so I watched those three programmes and I found them quite concerning, really, because I think we are at a point in our society and in our civilisation where things could easily go wrong. It will be interesting to see what happens. I'm certainly fairly well behind the school kids, who are doing school day strikes for things like climate change. And I think we need to really concentrate a bit on that. So perhaps Mrs May would get her finger out with Brexit, and then we can get down to something that's more important than politics. Alan, you think it's slowly going to get worse and worse as we ignore? I think you're right. I think that's exactly right. Did you see those programmes, mate? I'm fascinated to know what people think about that, really, because I'm fairly, I don't know, am I doom and gloom? I hope not. I don't intend to be doom and gloom. But I think it's a very worrying kind of scenario, especially for people with kids and grandchildren and stuff. Is the world going to go kind of belly up? I don't know, and I don't think anybody really knows. I'm a bit suspicious about some of the comments doom-laden that we get, and some of the comments very optimistic that we get, because the trouble is we're not. Oh, my focus has gone. One of the things that really bugs me is where we are going as a civilization, because I don't think it's getting better, really. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my sermon for today. What's happening here? My little machine is giving me jip. There you go. Okay, so that's today's topic. I'm interested to see where we go. Do I find it worrying for the future? Not for me, because I'm not going to be here in the future. I'm going to be, 2, 3, 5, 10 years, I don't know. And beyond that, does it matter? It doesn't to me, really, but it matters to people that I care about. And I think that's the issue for so many of us older people. Okay, I'm Chris. This is the Old Geezer's Diary, and I'm going to wish you all... I don't think it's capitalisation. Right. I think you're right, Alan. Yeah, it's just an unsustainable way of life. And the trouble is that we're gradually, I hope not, we're gradually, I think, tipping over the edge, or potentially tipping over the edge. There you go. I'm Chris. This is the Old Geezer's Diary. I will see you soon.